I would say the Minecraft marketplace is 90% garbage. However, there are definitely some hidden gems in there. Some of my favorite memories on Minecraft are from playing mods from the marketplace. The problem is, it's pretty hard to tell the good from the bad. So to try and solve that problem, I thought I'd rank the top 10 best Minecraft Bedrock mods I've played, not only to help you decide what you might want to play for yourself, but to also just show off how good this version of the game can be at its peak. So without further ado, let's get into this list, starting with number 10. And at number 10, I put the Horror Survival add-on. Now just looking at this, you might think it's a horror mod, but that's not really the way I see it. Instead of being scary, I found this mod more challenging than anything, since it adds all of these new mobs that do a ridiculous amount of damage. Oh, hey! There's just a casual demon right there. Hello, Mr. Demon. I'll be on my way. Don't you mind me, Mr. Demon. Oh, hey, more demons. Hey, guys, how's it going? Oh, now they're all chasing me. Oh, I'm dead. Well, that was fun, wasn't it? Wait a minute. I'm dead. It was fun. Okay, so do you see why I say this is ridiculously difficult now? So when I played this, I thought it'd be a fun idea to have to survive through the world while also defeating the dragon, wither, and their new custom vampire boss in the process. And while it was very difficult and took a lot of grinding, it was some of the most fun I've had recording a video for this channel. As you'll probably notice as we go through this list, I love mods that make the game a giant challenge for me, and this didn't disappoint on that front. But it is landing at the bottom spot here because it is a little misleading. While it was a ton of fun, it's branded like a horror mod, and I think it's supposed to be. But like I said, that's not really the best way to approach it in my opinion. Plus, I just think it's the worst mod compared to everything else on this list, but I thought it still deserved a shout out since it's well made, and I had a ton of fun with it. But yeah, number 10 is Horror Survival. Now moving on, at the number 9 spot, we have the Insane Disasters add-on. Now fun fact, this is one of the first Bedrock mods I ever played, and it was the one that opened me up to the optimistic side of the marketplace. Before playing this, all I knew were lazy or just like terribly made marketplace mods, but this executed such a simple concept in such a great way. And the Insane Disasters mod adds just that. A bunch of crazy natural disasters that could happen at any moment and ruin your life. There's tornadoes, there's earthquakes, there's meteor showers, there's a bunch of stuff, you name it. And what I think makes this mod great is that the disasters truly feel random. Like 1 second you're just minding your own business, having a lovely day, and then you look up and realize the world is ending. And while in a normal world this might add nothing but extra chaos, for me it created some of the funniest moments on this channel.
Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no,
I think you're dead, Turbo. Oh no! No, we're both in it! No!
Why would you watch it?
I was watching! God, please! Please! Kill us all! End the planet! We need netherite! Come on now! Wait. Oh my god. What's that?
Oh. Well, that sounds...
He listened! Andrew! Oh my god! But while I do love this mod a lot, I put it at number 9 because it's not as grand, we'll say. All it adds are natural disasters, and while it does a fantastic job at that, some of the other stuff on this list adds a lot more. So I thought they deserved to be just a little higher. But nonetheless, this is still a great mod, hence why I thought it deserved a spot. Alright, but moving on, at number 8, I put Eternal End. The Eternal End mod gives us the end update we've been waiting for years, as it adds 6 new biomes to the end, each with their own block palette, mobs, and structures. And these biomes are pretty cool. I've seen a lot of updates to the end, we'll say, on the marketplace, but I think this one's by far the best, as it should be, because it's called Eternal End. The goal of the mod is to fight the Void Dragon, which is the true final boss after the Ender Dragon. In each of the 6 new biomes, there's also a biome-specific Enderman, and killing enough of them drops a heart that, once you've collected all 6, can be used to summon the Void Dragon. And the summoning process looks pretty sweet, I can't lie. You have to place all the hearts in these statues, and then they all activate in this like awesome cutscene, and then the dragon spawns. Now the boss fight itself left a lot to be desired, I can't lie. It was pretty easy when I played it, but overall I had a blast with this mod. This is the type of thing I love, okay? Where you just need to go around and explore to collect things in order to defeat, like, the big bad thing. And for me, this is one of the best versions of that. I still remember, like, these giant space whales that this mod added, and how excited I was when I learned you could ride them. I also remember my first time in this shadow biome and how, like, terrifying that was. It was a lot of fun. But even though I had a lot of fun playing this, I put it at number 8 since it only impacts the end. I know that's kind of a stupid criticism because that's what it's supposed to do, but my point is that the overworld and nether are just vanilla Minecraft, and there are other mods on this list that change all 3 dimensions. But like I said, this one by far does the end the best, and I would hope it does because it's literally called the Eternal End. Alright, but with that, let's now move to number 7. And at number 7, I put Mousy's Mobs. This adds 12 or so new mobs, with 4 of them being new bosses. 3 of these bosses spawn in their own unique structures that I wish existed in vanilla Minecraft, and all of the bosses drop their own loot. Now, as I've kind of said many times already, this type of mod is my bread and butter. I love boss rush type stuff, and while there's a lot of that on the marketplace, this one stands out for 2 reasons. The first is that these boss fights are really difficult. In my original video, I'm pretty sure I cheated or just like scammed my way through every single fight because I kind of had to. Like, I'm pretty sure for one of the boss fights, you need to do like this parkour spiral thing up to the guy. I just didn't do that and just killed him before activating the boss fight. And while the comment section absolutely roasts me when I have to use exploits to kill a boss, it is the type of thing I love. I love having to actually think and come up with a strategy to defeat a boss, rather than just running in and clicking. Which also kind of relates to the second reason I think that this mod does the boss thing really well, and that's because every boss had its own unique, like, mechanic or gimmick. For example, this boss only takes damage when you hit him in the back. This one was extremely powerful during daytime. This one you needed to do parkour, you get it. Stuff like that is great because, once again, there are so many bosses in these mods that are just boring, but with Mousy's Mobs, it feels like I have to, like, actually prepare and think a little bit before a boss fight. Now, besides the bosses, there are other new mobs, but to be honest, those aren't the part that excites me. They're definitely cool, but what I care about are the bosses. And the reason it lands at number 7 is pretty similar to the Eternal End mod, actually, because I think it does a fantastic job with the bosses and the difficulty, but that is really all it adds. Don't get me wrong, it's still amazing. I mean, if anything makes this list, it's already better than, like, literally everything else on the marketplace by 700 years. But yeah, even with my little criticisms, I would definitely still check it out. I love Mousy's Mobs. Now, at number 6, we have the first true horror mod of the video. We had the horror survival way at the beginning, but this one is the first one that I'm classifying as a horror mod. And that would be the Cave Dweller add-on. The Cave Dweller is this lonely little creature that sits in the caves. He stalks you, he follows you, until he feels ready to attack you. And the more time you spend underground, the more time it has to find you, and the more time you try to run away, the more angry it gets. And don't even think about trying to kill him. Maybe I made that mistake myself, because the second you swing, he will shred you to pieces, okay? If you like the more eerie, like, slow horror mod stuff, you would probably love the Bedrock Cave Dweller. And I gotta say, it definitely created a lot of iconic moments when I played it. My game just froze. He spawned in, didn't he? Ah! Oh my god! Oh my god, that's awful! Where do I go? Oh my god! Oh my god, I'm gone, I'm sorry. He's right there! No. Well, I'm definitely not the biggest horror mod guy. I think it'd be extremely hard for me to justify that this doesn't deserve to be on the list. It is extremely well made and actually had me dreading my existence every time I went down in the caves. And even though it only affects you when you're underground, I think the Cave Dweller is one of the best Minecraft Bedrock mods and definitely earned a spot on this list. Alright, now before we get to the second half of the list, I think it's a great time to remind you to subscribe if you haven't already. I make a ton of Minecraft Bedrock content. A lot of it is playing mods like the ones in this video, so if you want to keep up with that, I would greatly appreciate a sub. Anyway, let's get into the top 5 here. And coming in at number 5, I have Better on Bedrock. Better on Bedrock feels like one of the original great Bedrock mods, and it's so OG that I played it before it was even on the marketplace. Essentially, how it works is that it completely changes how you get Eyes of Ender, removing the ability to craft them with blaze rods and pearls. Instead, you need to kill 5 new bosses who all drop their own eye, that when crafted together creates the Eyes of Ender. And some of these bosses are harder than the dragon fight itself, I'm not gonna lie, so it's very important to explore and get looted up along the way. And luckily this mod also adds a ton of new structures, biomes, mobs, ores, essentially everything to help you get stacked. I think some of my favorite stuff is like this giant tower that is some of the craziest loot of all time. I'm pretty sure I got multiple totems from this place and some nasty enchanted items. I'm also a big fan of this little goblin trader guy because he just asks for the lowest prices ever. I don't remember exactly, but like you can probably see it on screen. These are ridiculous prices, okay? I feel like I'm just scamming this dude every time I talk to him. I also just think like the new biomes look great. There's just, I don't know. It's great. There's like this little box on the top of the screen. It's like the simplest thing ever, but when you look at something, it tells you what it is. Just stuff like that. I love that type of stuff. But, you know, I love a boss rush type mod even more, and this is also that. I've played through Minecraft so many times that it is a little boring to get to the end the same way every time. So with this mod changing that up and adding a boatload of other content on top of that, is very refreshing for me. I will say my only criticism with Better on Bedrock is that 2 of the boss fights in particular are like really easy to the point where I end up feeling bad for the boss that I'm murdering. I also do think some of the structures could use an update. They do kind of give the vibes of like old Minecraft, but you know, other than that, I love Better on Bedrock. My first playthrough of the mod was one of my favorite playthroughs I've ever done on this channel, so it lands at number 5. And next on the list at number 4, we have the final horror mod on the list, and the best Bedrock horror mod of all time, in my opinion, Dwellers. Dwellers is the first Minecraft horror mod I've ever played, and it set the bar extremely high. It uses great visual and audio effects that make the world genuinely terrifying, and I think the biggest difference between this mod and every other horror mod I've played is that this doesn't waste time. In a bunch of horror mods, the creepy stuff just like stands around and watches you a lot of the time. I don't really find that scary. This horror mod, that does not happen. You're almost always getting instantly attacked by things when they spot you, which for me makes it a lot scarier. I end up getting bored and unimmersed when things take forever stalking me in horror mods, so feeling like at any moment I could get jumped and die made it 10 times scarier. And much like the Cave Dweller, I think some of my encounters with these dwellers made for some of the more iconic moments on this channel, in particular when I encountered the man from the fog. Is this the Puss in Boots movie? What is that? What? Okay, so I just heard whistle. What the? What the? Like I kind of alluded to before, Dwellers was such a good mod, I think it ruined horror mods for me. It genuinely had me terrified to leave my house or do literally anything for that matter without the worry of getting jumped. My literal only criticism with this mod is that one of the monsters in particular is the goofiest thing ever. I don't even remember his name. I think it's Krampus. Essentially, he's this like Christmas demon thing that spawns in, kidnaps you, runs away, and then vanishes. The first time he does it, it's terrifying because you think you're gonna get like, you know, taken to some dungeon. But after that, it is just like the saddest attempt of scaring you ever. And if anything, he carried me away from other monsters that were trying to kill me more often than anything else. But other than that, I think it's a perfect Bedrock horror mod. It has jump scares, eerie vibes, and I was on edge literally my entire first playthrough, which is why I think it's the best Bedrock horror mod out there, and why I put it at the number 4 spot. Alright, now we are into the top 3, and for me, these separate themselves pretty distinctly from the rest. They are for sure in a league of their own in my mind, and starting that league off at number 3, I have RealismCraft. RealismCraft was the first time I ever played a Bedrock mod and was genuinely speechless. I think the best way to describe it is that it's essentially Minecraft 2. It changes every biome, adds a ton of new structures, adds new mobs, completely overhauls the textures and animations, adds a ton of new items on top of that to give the game a completely new feel. It literally changes everything. And it's truly one of the most beautiful and incredible experiences I've had on Bedrock Edition. It completely changed how I viewed the marketplace as well. Before playing this, I had only really known like the typical slop we see on here, but playing RealismCraft unironically gave me hope that it's possible to make something amazing in this game. And I personally believe it's the reason why I got into Bedrock mods in the first place. But back to the mod itself, what it's best at, in my opinion, is creating a desire to explore. Literally every time I play this, all I want to do is run around and see what I can find. And while that sounds like it would be very easy to accomplish, RealismCraft does it the best I've ever seen. Every biome, every dimension has their own unique structures and mobs. And they're not these like lame little structures either. A lot of them are pretty big and they have great loot inside. That combination, there is not a better combination with structures, okay? This mod has so much in it that I've played through it 3 times, making it all the way to the dragon in each one, by the way, and I still have yet to see everything there is to see. For me, RealismCraft feels perfect to have on a long-term survival world, and if you were to ask me out of all of the mods on this list which one I would recommend for new players, it's this one. I think this mod changed the marketplace forever. It raised the standard of what can be done and paved the way for other great stuff to come. But in the grand scheme of my list, it ends up at number 3, since I think there are 2 other things that just beat it out. And one of those is our number 2 spot. However, this one is kind of controversial, I can't lie, because at number 2, I put actions and stuff. And I know, this is technically a texture pack, so just roast me all you want in the comments, but hear me out. I think actions and stuff is so great and changes the game so much that in my mind it counts more as a mod than a texture pack. If you somehow don't know what actions and stuff is, it's a texture pack that changes every single animation in the game. And that's not an exaggeration. Literally every single possible animation you can think of looks new and improved with actions and stuff. From mobs walking, to shooting a bow, to chopping down a tree, to eating. You get the point. Literally everything's changed. But for me, what's the best part is that they give you the option to turn off their new textures, which I think look great, by the way, and use these animations with the default Minecraft textures. And for me, this is what truly makes me appreciate just how much better this pack makes things look. And it's not like there's some weakness here. I genuinely believe that every animation and actions and stuff looks great. I've seen some other animations packs where there's certain things that look off or like uncanny, but with actions and stuff, I don't get that feeling at all. Everything is smooth and natural and fits the style of the pack. Nothing looks out of place, essentially. And what I think gives actions and stuff an edge over everything else on this list is the fact that you can use it on literally any Minecraft world you want. Now, that is kind of cheating since it's a texture pack on a list full of mods, but I do think that it's an important aspect to include. I mean, I've used actions and stuff on the Hive, a featured server, and it still worked great. Like, that's something you can't say, not only for mods, but for other texture packs on the marketplace. But the reason I felt like I should include it here is because it does improve the game more than any other texture pack possibly can. I mean, if you told someone on Java this was a mod, or if you just told them this was not even Minecraft, they would probably believe you, and for me, that says enough about whether or not I should include it. In my opinion, it is the best made thing on the marketplace, so I definitely believed it deserved a spot on this list. Alright, now before we see what my number 1 Bedrock mod is, I want to quickly go over 3 honorable mentions. And the first is the Waystones mod. This is kind of useful since it essentially lets you teleport anywhere that you have a waystone down, and I love this mod, but while I love it, it doesn't add very much at all, so I didn't think it deserved a spot, but it still does deserve a shout out. The second honorable mention is this Aether mod ripoff. I don't actually remember what it's called. I think it's called like the Ether or something, but I had some fun playing it. It was a little scuffed, I can't lie, and it didn't really add that much new cool stuff. It did add some bosses, which I really loved. Once again, didn't think it did enough to earn a spot here, but I definitely want to give it some love. And the final honorable mention, we have the Bosses Plus add-on. I played this one a very long time ago. I think like almost a year and a half ago at this point. And as we know by now, I love a boss fight, and this mod adds a ton of new ones. I remember from my first playthrough of the mod, they were actually pretty challenging as well. I think specifically the little end guy, I don't know, maybe there's a clip on screen. That guy gave me some problems, but I don't think it deserves to be in the top 10. It just adds bosses. There's no like structures or anything, so yeah, I didn't think it deserved a spot. Alright, but with those out of the way, let's finally see what I put at the number 1 spot. It's RealismCraft. Woo! Yippee! Yeah, this hasn't been out for as long as some of the other stuff on this list, but this is by far the most fun I've ever had on this game. If you don't know what RealismCraft is, it's essentially Minecraft on impossible difficulty. It adds like a temperature bar, like you need to drink water. If you take damage, you break limbs and can't punch or walk as fast. It's pretty rough. I think my first 30 seconds in RealismCraft sums up how difficult it is pretty nicely. Oh my god, there's a dragon! Oh my god, there's a dragon! Help! Stop! Oh my god, why? 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 Help! It's been 2 seconds! Please! Oh my god, I'm so dead! I am so dead! Oh my god, why did I click hard? Why did I do that? Okay, I've learned from my little tutorial friend. I need flint, like, really bad. Okay, I'm cooked, bro. Okay, I'm cooked. This stupid dragon won't leave me alone. Okay, I've died. So yeah, there's all these new mobs, and they all want to kill you. And to make things even harder, you need to level up in order to use better tools. So for example, I can't just immediately craft a stone axe and use it. I need to level up my mining ability first in order to use my better tools. And it's pretty difficult to level up, but exploring the new structures and dungeons does help with getting XP, so you don't just immediately die in every fight. And for most people, this sounds like a giant pain, but for me, this was unironically so fun. I love a challenge, and I love bosses, and you'd never guess what has both of those. RealismCraft, I think, has 15 bosses or so, and in my original playthrough, I only killed like 6 or 7 of them, so I want to try to kill every single boss in Bedrock RealismCraft. So if you want to watch me try to do that, I'm going to be streaming my all bosses playthrough tomorrow on my second channel. I'm so excited for it. So yeah, I would love to see you there. But anyway, RealismCraft, in my opinion, is the best mod on the marketplace. It's challenging, it rewards exploring, it adds new bosses. It feels like a mod that was personally crafted for me, which is why I ultimately went with it at my number 1 spot. But I understand if you disagree with my rankings completely. For one, I only included the mods that I've played, so there might be other stuff on the marketplace that I've never played that would get a spot on this list. And also, everyone has a different experience with playing things, so feel free to leave your personal list in the comments. I'm very curious, what most people think should be number 1. But anyway, thank you for watching the video. Like I said, I'm streaming RealismCraft all bosses on the weekends over on my second channel. So click the little icon on screen to head over there, or hit the bottom one to watch my original RealismCraft video.